undercards. We have a total of 6 undercards which will be taking place tonight. 3 of them have already taken place. 1 of them is currently in session already. We have seen Michael Dodu knock out Daniel Akonu. After 3 rounds, he knocked him out in the first few seconds of the 3rd round to win by technical knockout. And then in the second undercard, which also took place just a few moments ago, we had Anamadoche from Ghana taking on Joseph Martins of Nigeria. That fight also ended in the early minutes of the 4th round with a Nigerian suffering the technical knockout because his corner threw in the towel. Now the fight you are seeing in the background is an exciting fight between 2 Ghanaians, Delali Meleji and Eliasu Sule. And already Eliasu has been dropped about 3 or 4 times onto the camera. So he's still in the fight. He's been saved by the bell in the 2nd round. What you have tonight is the highest quality boxing here in Ghana, which is being broadcast to the whole world on our website, gh1tv.com, and also live on GH1 TV. And you can also follow us on Facebook, GH1 TV. It's also taking place on Boxing Nation on the internet. And so this is a big fight. It's an international fight, and it brings Ghana's Isaac Dogboe one step closer to achieving the dream of winning a first world title for Ghana since 2011, when Joseph Agbeko held the IBF World Bantamweight title. So there's a lot to look forward to tonight, and you're welcome to GH1. Stay with us as we bring you exciting, high-quality, blistering pace boxing live from the Bukom Boxing Arena. This is live coverage, Fight Night on GH1 TV. We are also live on gh1tv.com, we're live streaming. We are also live on YouTube, GH1 TV, and live on facebook.com, GH1 TV. This is one of the undercards of the main event, which is Isaac Dogboe of Ghana versus Cesar Juarez of Mexico. And this fight is between Delali Meleji and Eliasu Sule. It's the 3rd of the night. We've already had 2 undercards, and I'll tell you about those in just a bit. We are in round 4 of this encounter. Delali Meleji started this fight like a house on fire and dropped his opponent a number of times in the first 2 rounds. But Eliasu Sule has gradually clawed back And he's back in this fight. This fight is scheduled for 6 rounds. Eliasu wrapping his arm around Meleji's neck to try to take a bit of momentum off him. Meleji, the taller boxer, he's got a reach advantage, he's got a height advantage. And there he goes with his right. His right, which has brought him a lot of results so far. But he looks tired, as Prince was mentioning just earlier. Two relatively inexperienced boxers. Between them, they just have about 13 fights. And Eliasu is fighting back, throwing combinations of right and left. Meleji trying to look for an opening and using his reach advantage with his long jab with his left and right. He's fighting more than just an opening, he's fighting fatigue. Meleji again using his reach advantage. On the other hand, Eliasu is trying to negotiate his way around the reach advantage, and in doing so, trying to fight on the inside and get in the face of his opponent and throw punches. Both fighters look quite knackered at this stage of the 4th round. Oh, a good over-the-top right by Meleji. And he quickly ducks to avoid any counter punches from Sule Eliasu. A good left hook from Meleji again. He finds the jaw of Eliasu. Eliasu trying to punch back, jabbing with his left. Meleji again with his long reach and his stiff jab. There he goes with a big right and then a left across. Another big right from Meleji. Combinations left, right. Now he goes to the body. He's pummeling his opponents at this stage, who can't seem to get out of trouble. Meleji in control at the moment. Then Sule Eliasu looks completely dazed. Prince. He's fighting back. He throws an overhead.
I'm not too happy with the way Delali Meleji is fighting. I mean, and I keep saying, he is losing it where it matters most. Almost all the punches that could give him points, he's throwing them into air, and you can see the reaction from him with the bell ring.
And that's the end of round 4. Meleji perhaps shading this round because he got a few punches that landed flush on the face of Eliasu Sule. But he's making this fight more difficult than it should be for him, is he not?
I thought it would have been an easy walk-through fight for Delali Meleji. He may win the fight, all right, but it will be a very close encounter when we have to go to the scorecard. By virtue of the fact that Eliasu has gone down 3 times already, so obviously he's lost those 1 point in those 3 rounds. It puts his opponent Meleji in front. But again, from the replay, you realize that he's cool. Wait for the punches to come from his opponent and then look for the opening. That is where he is losing.
But clearly Meleji is relying on his reach advantage. He's using his left jab. He's coming with some big shots on the right hand side, and it's working for him.
He's coming in with a shot, but I don't think it is landing the target and making the necessary impact. There you go again. He's only has to run away from it. His punches need to be sincere, precise, and concise. Once you land the punches, you pick the points.
And that takes us into the penultimate round, round 5. I can tell you, on my scorecard, Meleji leading this fight. Combination of the knockdowns and the accurate jabbing and the rights that he's landed. There he goes again with another big right. The second time he misses. He's piling on the pressure on his opponent. He's got Sule Eliasu in trouble. Eliasu clinches and hangs on for dear life and manages to, in a way, break the momentum of Meleji, but he's right on him again. Meleji head hunting Eliasu, looking to finish this, but Eliasu comes again. He's as stubborn as a mule. Eliasu, you'd have thought that by this stage you'd have given up.
Most definitely, he's going to go through. He's going to go through, and he is going to win the fight by virtue of the fact that he has kept the consistency and he's kept the pressure on his opponent Eliasu Sule, who's gone down a couple of times. I just wish that he could have kept the punches as straight as he can. The jabs are working for him. As to whether he's picking the necessary points, it is left to Eliasu to also bring back something in the last couple of seconds before the round ends.
Two tired combatants measuring each other. And Meleji again with a big right. finding the face of Sule Eliasu with his big rights all night long. At this stage, the energy is sucked out of these two. And you could tell that Eliasu's legs are going jelly. They are quite wobbly at the moment. A good jab. Left jab from Meleji again. The pace of the fight has dropped considerably. And there's a lot of wild swinging from Eliasu, who is not landing. Meleji staying a safe distance, using his long reach as an advantage in this fight. And as the fight goes towards the latter end, we are seeing more clinching from the two fighters as they size each other up. Meleji in the red trunks, Eliasu in the black trunks. Good right shot from Eliasu. Meleji tries to come back, but he only finds the glove of Eliasu. Eliasu stalking Meleji, trying to come in because he must be behind on the scorecard. It's a lovely left from Eliasu. He's done well to recover from the early setbacks of the round. Meleji with a big right. Eliasu counter punches. Tiredness setting in for both fighters as we go into the final seconds of round 5. Referee Nikwe separates the two boxes. Meleji, who made an excited fight start to this fight. And it's the end of round 5 as we go into the final stages. But in my mind, Meleji is still clearly the one leading on the scorecard.
Well, he will be leading. I don't know how clearly that would be. Anyway, Eliasu is not doing enough to claw back some pride in terms of winning the technical points as the rounds go through. We entered the last round with a lot of expectation, especially from the two corners. I noticed during the fight that a lot of instructions kept coming from Meleji's corner. He needs a couple more tune-up fights for him to perfect his act. Indeed, the two boxers need a couple of fights to perfect their act. But they're giving a good account of themselves, and I believe that it will be a fair justice if we see Meleji winning the 6th round.
Meleji landed a few punches when he cornered Eliasu early on in the 5th round into the corner. But Eliasu clinching his way out of trouble and effectively breaking the momentum of Meleji. As I mentioned earlier, two highly experienced fighters. Eliasu, the slightly more experienced fighter. He's had 7 wins out of his 7 fights. He hasn't lost a fight. And Meleji, on the other hand, has fought only 5 times. He's won all 5, with 3 of them coming by way of technical knockouts.
So by virtue of that fight, like I said, they both need a couple more tune-up fights. This obviously will not put them in good stead in terms of live coverage they're getting on TV. They needed to have come out beyond themselves to have showed the crowd that they were ready and able. But their fight record tells us all. Let's see how the last round goes.
Well, this is the final round of this 6th round non-title super middleweight matchup between Delali Meleji and Eliasu Sule, both hailing from the Republic of Ghana. Somebody's O definitely has to go in this fight, as far as I'm concerned, unless Eliasu can do something dramatic in the next few minutes. He's about to lose his unblemished record as a 6th round starts. Two boxers sizing up each other. Eliasu will need a huge round and perhaps a technical knockout if he is to come out of this as a winner. He doesn't look capable of it at this moment as Meleji goes in with his left jab, working all day. And that has been his biggest weapon. Finding the head of Eliasu. Eliasu trying, he comes in, he gets a big right. It doesn't do much damage to Meleji. Referee separates the two boxes. Meleji in the red trunks. And at the moment, he's just seeing through this round to what should obviously be a victory for him. But credit to Sule Eliasu, who's managed to survive the onslaught from the early few rounds. It's Eliasu who is stalking Meleji across the ring, but he's unable to get any clean shots, although he's swinging quite wildly. And this is not turning out to be the round that he needs.
Nah, Definitely not. I mean, it's all done and dusted, in my opinion, if you ask me. I mean, for Delali Meleji, he's walking straight to victory, a hard-earned victory, I should say. But I give thumbs up and I give credit to Delali, I beg your pardon, to Ilyas Usule. He has bounced back from 3 knockdowns and he's still on his feet. That shows the resilience of a boxer he is. Although, again, I should be quick to add that he still needs a lot of polishing. And his corner has been issuing out instructions ever since round 1. And they're still barking out instructions at him. There's definitely is something he's not doing right. He would have to live and fight another day.
Well, you can't take away the fact that Sule Ilyasu has got a big hat and he's got a lot of guts. Reminds me of Jake LaMotta, the late former world champion, the subject matter of the movie Raging Bull, who would fight till his last breath. And there he goes, trying to jab his way. Well, his legs have gone a bit wobbly, but Delali Meleji decides to step back and not take advantage of that moment. And it looks like this one is going to finish the full 6 rounds. The final stages, Meleji with a lunge, and there he goes. He has Ilyasu in trouble as he tries to knock him out, but there isn't enough time as round 6 comes to an end. So that's the end of the contest. It's a super middleweight contest between Delali Meleji and Ilyas Usule. In a bit, we'll go to the judges' scorecards to find out who has won, but we are both in agreement that Delali Meleji has done enough.
Well, he certainly has done enough. He kept his cool, kept his composure. You noticed that during the latter stages of the last round, he slackened in the punches, only to reserve energy to see himself go through the end of the round. His opponent, Ilyasu, did not give him much of a fight, I should say. And again, I hasten to add that they both need a lot of polishing. This has been a very good setting for them. At least we've seen the capabilities, I beg your pardon, of Delali Meleji. He's got a long way to go, but he's done enough for tonight.
And he's got natural weapons, hasn't he? He's tall for a middleweight, good height. He's got a good reach, and that gives him a natural advantage over a lot of opponents.
Exactly.
He has to make these advantages count.
It has to work for him. He's fighting against a relatively shorter opponent.
All right, so now we go to the ring announcer for the scores at the end of 6 rounds of super middleweight action between Delali Meleji and Ilyas Usule.
Very well, thank you very much. As we wait for the verdict for the super middleweight contest for 6 rounds between Delali Meleji and Ilyas Usule, let me remind you that very soon we shall be going live on GH1 because we are introducing one of the main events of the evening, the vacant WBO African Cruiserweight Championship over 12 rounds. We will be getting ready for that very important fight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together for the 2 boxers, please? It was a good show. Now we have the scorecards. Judge 1, Confidence Siagbo, scored about 60 to 53. Judge 2, Owusu Ansah, scored about 59 to 54. Then Judge 3, Shadrach Akwe, scored about 60 to 53 by a unanimous point decision. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the boxer, Meleji Delali. Thank you, and thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with this. We are now getting ready with one of the main events of the evening. And this is a vacant WBO African Cruiserweight Championship over 12 rounds. Let me say that the supervisor for this championship, we have Mr. Samir Kaptan, the WBO representative in Africa and a board member of Pacific Asia, is the supervisor for this bout. And for the judges, we have Judge 1, May Mensa Akako, Judge 2, Erasmus O, Judge 3, Shadrach Akwe, and the man in the center of this fight is Roger Bano. Once again, officials for the bouts, Roger Bano, May Mensa Akako, Erasmus O, Shadrach Akwe, and the supervisor is Samir Kaptan from Ghana. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the boxers, Abraham Tabu and Patrick Ferguson. Abraham Tabu from Ghana and Patrick Ferguson from the United States of America. Are we happy? Are we happy? So now it's Ghana versus the United States of America. So we are waiting for the two boxers. Let me acknowledge the presence of the President of Ghana Boxing Authority, Mr. Peter Juarez, and the Vice President of WBO, Mr. John Dogan. You're welcome to Ghana. So now we have Patrick Ferguson is in the ring. We are now waiting for Abraham Tabu.
Tabu is a mountain of a man.
He is.
Clearly he would have the height advantage. He's the bigger man in the ring. So it's a United States of America versus Ghana. Let me just give you a tale of the tape. Pat Ferguson, 26 years of age. He comes in weighing 197.5 pounds. He stands at 6 foot 1 inch with a fight of 10 fights, no defeats, and 10 of those victories coming by way of technical knockouts. And he is up against a big man, Abraham Tabu, who calls himself the Black Cat. Just a year older, and he weighs at almost a similar weight of 197 pounds. This is a cruiserweight contest between two fighters who are almost equally matched, because Abraham Tabu has fought 12 times. He's won all 12 fights. 11 out of those 12 fights have come by way of technical knockout. I hand you over to the ring announcer as he announces the two fighters.
We want to thank them so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to roll. For the officials for this bout, we have Judge 1, May Mensa Akako, Judge 2, Erasmus O, Judge 3, Shadrach Akwe. Now introducing the boxer fighting out from the blue corner, and this evening spotted in the black trunks, black shoe, and black and white gloves to match. From Stuart, Florida in the United States of America. He came to the ring with a weight of 195 100.7 pounds. Official record. 10 fights, no defeats, 10 wins, and all came by way of knockout. Presenting to you the boxer who is currently the WBC United States USNBC Cruiserweight Champion. Presenting to you the boxer Patrick Ferguson. Now fighting out from the red corner, and this is the boxer who came to the ring with a weight of 197.5 pounds. From Ghana, with the official record of 11 fights, 1 defeat, 10 wins. 10 of those wins came by way of knockout. Presenting to you the boxer who has fought 11 fights, 41 rounds of boxing. He made his debut in 2016. Presenting to you the boxer Abraham Taboo. And the referee for this bout is Roger Bang.
Good evening, guys. You're doing 10-3 rounds. Break, break, stop, stop. The way man commands, defend yourself at all times. If I say break, break, stop, stop. No head batting. No head batting. Any question, Abraham? Any question, Patrick? Good luck and shake hands.
We're about to commence the 4th undercard here tonight between Ghana's Abraham Taboo and the United States Patrick Ferguson. This is a cruiserweight title fight, and it is for 10 rounds. Referee Roger Bano will be watching events and coordinating from inside the ring. It's 2 fighters who are almost equally matched. Pat Ferguson with 10 fights in total, and Taboo with about 12 fights in total. And here we go, Prince.
Looking forward to this. Round 1, they would obviously need to size each other up, throw in a couple of punches, a couple of jabs to test the resilience of the other. And I don't expect to see anything dramatic to happen in the very first round. Of course, they're both cautious, looking at their records too, quite similar. And if you take a look at their statistics too, in terms of the weight, Taboo is just about 2 pounds heavier than his opposite number, Patrick. Obviously, it would be a very close one, but Patrick, fighting in front of his home fans, would want to step into the ring and give it all he has.
Well, we already have an early glimpse of how this fight is likely to be going. I get the impression that the more careful fighter is Pat Ferguson. Is a more cautious, sizing up Taboo. Taboo, the early aggressor, throwing a lot of punches and stalking Patrick across the ring. Taboo from Ghana is the one in the yellow and black trunks, and Patrick Ferguson from the US is in the all black trunks. Taboo working the body, going downtown, and perhaps at this stage trying to get Patrick to drop his guard, because he's very well wrapped. None of Taboo's early punches have managed to land on his face, but that's a good left hook from Taboo. He goes in, tries a combination, and he lands cleanly on the head. Taboo combining with the hooks and some uppercuts. And Patrick Ferguson is in trouble very early on in the fight. There's a bit of a respite for him as Taboo steps back. But Taboo, in these early stages, showing he's a stronger fighter. And he's using his advantage as a bigger man. He's got Pat Ferguson on the ropes. He manages to wriggle himself out of trouble. And now the fighters are fighting at close quarters. Taboo with a right. It only finds the gloves of Pat Ferguson. Ferguson tries to counter punch. But then again, Taboo turns the table on him. Ferguson trying to use his left jab, keeping his head down to try to withstand some of the onslaught coming from the Ghanaian. Taboo with a good left. Taboo goes in, but his last few punches haven't exactly found their target. And after the early strong start, Taboo seems to have slowed down just a little. Or is it Patrick Ferguson increasingly coming into the fight?
Well, Patrick is taking things in his stride. A couple of minutes ago, we saw Taboo open up a fury of punches. Patrick also showed how resilient he was. He took them in his stride. Nothing to write home about, like I told you in this very first round. It is just an opportunity for them to size each other up. Now they know what each other is made of. The second round would really commence the boxing.
Well, it's the end of the first round, and for me, clearly, that is a Taboo round. Pat Ferguson starting as a more cautious fighter. Abraham Taboo going in straight as the aggressor. He's managed to land some tailing punches. And I'd give him the round one. Patrick Ferguson and his coaches strategizing how they would come in that second round, and try to gain something on Taboo. And here are highlights. Every Bano in the early stages trying to keep the boxers apart. Taboo, his eyes fixed on the target. He lands a good right, and then a few shots to the body, and then a left to the head of Patrick Ferguson. And that was a trend in the early stages of the first round. As we prepare for the second round stage of this cruiserweight contest between Abraham Taboo of Ghana and Patrick Ferguson of the United States. And here we go again. Taboo jabbing with his left. The boxers sizing up each other. Taboo makes a lunge for the body of Patrick Ferguson. He doesn't exactly hit his target. Ferguson still measuring up his opponent. Problem is he's not throwing enough punches as we saw in the first round. Fighting at a distance from his opponent. Taboo, a good left jabbing from Taboo, trying to open up the defenses of Pat Ferguson and perhaps land one of his big rights. There he goes, trying to set up Ferguson for a big right. And right now the big right is not really coming, although he's using his jab and trying to set him up for that punch.
Setting him up is the right strategy for him at this stage. It's just the jabs to keep him at bay and then collect the points as he can. But we've also seen some tenacity on the part of Taboo. He's been moving into open spaces, and I believe that from where I sit, I see a person like Ferguson as a little bit of a flat-footed boxer. His movement is somehow heavy from commentary position, and I don't know whether Taboo can take the advantage. And you realize that anytime there is a break, Taboo likes to go in first of all with the left, size him up, and then throws the big one if he can. There you go again.
Ferguson fighting very defensively. The problem is, as Prince has said, he's flat-footed, slow, and predictable, which makes it easy for Abraham Taboo to pick punches off him. And the second round is turning out to be similar to the first round. Taboo, the aggressor, Pat Ferguson, counter-punching a few times and trying to look for openings, but the openings have been few and far between. Though he has managed to find a few body punches on target. Here comes Taboo, punching on the body, landing with a big right, with a left and then a right. Ferguson gets in close up to try to deny him the space, but he tries to create something for himself, Abraham Taboo, with another overhand right. And this is a good spell here for Ferguson. He's managed to land a few counter punches, but Taboo again wearing him down the body and throwing that big right. Ferguson with a few weak attempts to counter punch. The problem is he's not returning fire for fire.
No, he's not, and I'm taking notice of the fact that it looks like, I may be wrong, but it looks like Ferguson is not too strong in the midsection. You realize that Taboo has been working on the body over the last minute or so, trying to weaken his opponent and then work to the top of the body where he gets the upper hand.
Pat Ferguson coming back with a few body punches as round two comes to an end, and it looks like another Abraham Taboo round.
Taboo seems to be comfortable at this point, throwing in the punches and counting the points as he goes through. Ferguson has been relaxing. I like the way he's been battling with Tabul, especially in the midsection. And every time they go head-to-head, he likes to work on the midsection to get the added advantage. Again, he's noticed that Tabul almost always leads with the left, almost always looking for the big punch with the right, and he seems to be countering that very well with some bubbly head movements here and there. I think Patrick Ferguson so far has this fight under control.
If you're just joining us, it's Fight Night on GH1 TV. We are coming to you live from the Bukom Boxing Arena here in Accra, Ghana, in Africa. We are building up to the main event, which is a WBO Super Bantamweight interim title, as Ghana's Isaac Dogboe, the Royal Storm, he calls himself, takes on Cesar Juarez of Mexico. Now, just to explain the background to this contest, Cesar Juarez is the #1 contender for the Super Bantamweight WBO title, and in October he was supposed to have faced Jesse Magdaleno of the United States. Magdaleno injured himself in training, and so that fight was called off. And so Cesar Juarez, the #1 contender, is taking on Isaac Dogboe, ranked #2 by the WBO, and the winner will have the right to face Jesse Magdaleno. That is assuming he takes the fight and he doesn't move into the featherweight division. But meanwhile, this is the fourth undercard tonight here at the Bukom Boxing Arena. It's Ghana's Ibrahim Taboo in the yellow, very conspicuous yellow and black trunks, taking on Patrick Ferguson of the USA in the all black trunks for a WBO cruiserweight title. And so far, after the first 2 rounds, it is Ibrahim Taboo who has been dominant. Let's see if Pat Ferguson will build momentum and come more and more into the fight in this 3rd round. Already, well, there was a low blow by Ferguson, and referee Bano will warn him. There was a trading of punches, and one of the punches landed below the belt. Taboo with a right and then a left. He's trying to finish the job here. He comes with another overhand right, and then his left jab. He's looking for that deadly punch that will perhaps end this fight. He finds a right, another right. But Pat Ferguson is hanging on stubbornly. Taboo. Ferguson with a right to the body and then a right to the jaw of Ibrahim Taboo. Taboo with a right and then a left. But he's unable to follow up. And Ferguson gets between his defenses with a few shots. Ferguson again, trying to counter punch back. But he's not throwing nearly enough to get Ibrahim Taboo into trouble. Remember, this is a 10-round encounter, and we are just in the 3rd round, so perhaps a lot more to come in this fight between the 2 fighters. But it looks like Ferguson is gradually growing into the fight. He's landed a few beautiful punches in this round, hasn't he?
Fans are loving him. The dignitaries here are also loving him. He's shown that resilience, he's shown that power. He keeps receiving all the punches being thrown by Taboo, but he's still on his feet. And this should tell us something. He's got a staying power as a boxer and as a middleweight. And you realize that he's trying as much as possible to prevent all the shots coming to the upper part of the body, whilst Taboo is also working on the midsection. One thing I noticed about Taboo is that when he explodes, he has not got the staying power to finish the explosion and always allows Ferguson to come back. That's going to be a worry for him.
Well, this could turn out to be a slugfest. Taboo is the aggressor, and he keeps coming at Ibrahim. Well, he keeps coming at Pat Ferguson. An excellent shot into the midriff of Ferguson. And I have to admit, you have to admire the chin of Pat Ferguson. He's received quite a lot of punches from Ibrahim Taboo, but he still stands on his feet as Taboo continues to pummel away. It's the end of round 3, and I would say it's another Taboo round. He was the main aggressor. He landed the better punches. He landed a few punches to the right, to the face of Ferguson, and some really good body shots as round 3 comes to an end. And for me, it's 3 rounds that go to Ibrahim Taboo of Ghana.
I couldn't agree with you more. Taboo has done everything that he has to do so far he's kept the pressure, he's kept the momentum, he's getting the fans behind him, he's getting the punches into open spaces, he's picking up the points. For Ferguson, all he has to do is to try and re-strategize. Because the first attempt at trying to wait for the punches to come is not working. Now all he needs to do is to try and open up a little bit whilst, guarding his face and try and throw some body punches to Taboo. At the moment, we're not too sure where the weak point of Ibrahim Taboo is. But I'm getting the impression that the more he takes a lot of midsection punches, the weaker he becomes. And so he's unable to follow up with the powerful punches.
It's round 4 of this WBO cruiserweight title fight between Ibrahim Taboo of Ghana and Patrick Ferguson. The last 3 rounds have been pretty much Ibrahim Taboo rounds. He's accumulated valuable punches and points by extension on the scorecards of the judges. What has this American got up his sleeve? Well, he started the round quite strongly, and he's landing rights and lefts to Ibrahim Taboo, and Ibrahim Taboo counters with explosive right punches. He's not landing flush on the face of Pat Ferguson as he would like, but he's throwing a good deal of punches. He lunges again with his left. It only finds the hands of Pat Ferguson. A left jab, and Pat Ferguson goes for the body of Taboo with a few quick left punches to his body. And then a good uppercut and a good hook to the right hook. Taboo comes right back with a few punches of his own. But I can see that fatigue is beginning to set in for Ibrahim Taboo.
Exactly what I said from the first round. All he needed to do was to take his time, and especially after sizing each other up in the first round, hit the critical points as he did in the first. I thought that he would have worked a lot more on the upper part of Patrick Ferguson, because obviously we have seen that he's got weak legs. But anytime he throws in the muscle punches, he fails to follow up, giving Patrick Ferguson the opportunity to throw back a few counter punches, which catches him unawares. We just saw that a few minutes ago, a couple of combinations to the head, and Taboo was found wanting.
Well, Taboo is beginning to make silly mistakes. He's dropping his guard and opening himself up from swift counter punching from Ferguson. And it's Taboo. Well, is the end near here for Pat Ferguson? Taboo. But Ferguson smartly clinching to Taboo, and in a way nullifying the punching power of the Ghanaian. The crowd are cheering in anticipation of a quick end to this fight, but American stays on his feet and he fights back. It's exciting in this cruiserweight contest between Ibrahim Taboo of Ghana and Patrick Ferguson. The crowd here at the Boxing Bukom Arena are loving every bit of it. Taboo has recovered, and he has Ferguson under pressure, but he's been so far unable to drop the American or finish him off. As we enter the final few seconds of round 4 of this cruiserweight contest, it's Ferguson. He sneaks in a left hook, and it's Taboo who comes in with a left body shot and then a right. And the referee calls time on round 4. And this is closer than the rounds before. That is a round that has no score for Ibrahim Taboo.
Quite a close round, if you ask me. And I believe Taboo might be slightly in the lead because he seems to be picking up the points. Even with a few of the punches that he's throwing, he seems to be landing the jabs. But he is tiring out. He starts the round with a lot of energy, but he tires out after the first 1.5, first 2 minutes, and then runs out of gas and runs out of steam. That is where I'm expecting Ferguson to take the advantage. Unfortunately, he's also exerting a lot of energy, and so they both seem to be running out on gas even before the last 60 seconds. We may see a difference from Ferguson if he's able to land one solid punch to the body of Taboo. If not, Taboo should be very wary and very careful about the strategy being
Ghana
employed.
Boxing Supporters Union are out in force. And this was some very crisp punches from Ibrahim Taboo in the 4th round. And so far on my cards, he's clearly leading. But you have to admire the resilience of the American Pat Ferguson. It's shown that he has a granite chin. He's taking punishment, he's taking punches from Kabul, and he stayed on his feet. Kabul, the man in the yellow and the black trunks, if you're just joining us, this is a cruiserweight title fight. Patrick Ferguson is from the United States of America, and Abraham Taboo is a Ghanaian. Taboo on the offensive again, stalking Ferguson, punching Ferguson. A few misplaced punches, but he has also landed a few in the process. Two boxers sizing up each other as they enter the middle rounds of this fight. Ferguson with a wild left swing cuts the tip of Taboo's face. Taboo in the corner, Ferguson jabbing with his left. Taboo turns the tables around, trying to pin the American in the corner of the ring. Referee Bano comes between the two fighters and they are back in the middle of the ring. Taboo seems to be fatiguing quite quickly, but the American is not throwing enough, and so it's the Ghanaian who is still clearly dominating with a good right and then a left. Taboo with a right overhand, but the American catches him with a good right. And for a moment, it looks like Taboo was dazed, but the American is unable to follow up. And the fight settles into a regular pattern of Abraham Taboo, the stalker, and Patrick Ferguson looking for the few opportunities he can get to sneak in some good counter punches, and he sneaks in the right. Taboo with a good shot to the body, and then an overhand that lands on the side of Pat Ferguson's head. Yet more body punches from Abraham Taboo. Ferguson trying to fight back, but not being given the opportunity to put together any combination. He throws a couple of weak shots to the body of Taboo. It doesn't seem to have shaken the Ghanaian in any way. Taboo with a left and then a right. Throwing from very good angles. But he's been caught with a left by the American, Pat Ferguson. And he quickly clinches the American. Tries to fight back. And Taboo, in dominating this fight, and in really trying to fight back when it is that he's been caught by Pat Ferguson, again making elementary mistakes by opening himself out to these punches from the American.
Couldn't agree with you more, and those elementary mistakes may cost him the fight, and not only the fight, but don't forget there's a title at stake. There's a WBO cruiserweight title, the Africa version, which is vacant. It is up for grabs. Those mistakes might give him in terms of 12 rounds if they have to go that far. Now, let's take a look at Patrick Ferguson from a distance. He's shown that he can walk into any punch that his opponents can throw, Taboo can throw. Taboo is running out of steam.
Yes.
They are trying to keep him on his toes in the fight.
That face tells a big story.
It does.
The fact that although he's clearly dominating this fight, as the fight goes into the midway punch, he's beginning to perhaps feel the sting of the few but very accurate punches from the American.
And every time he receives a punch, that is Ferguson, he is ready to take more. He sizes his opponent up, looks for the opening. The reach is not helping him. But anytime he gets into trouble, he knows how to walk his way away from trouble. That shows a mark of a tough one.
Well, Pat Ferguson has shown in the first 5 rounds of this fight so far that he's got a strong chin, except he's not returned fire enough against the Ghanaian, who is clearly leading on the scorecard. The question is, were the American to unload and go after the Ghanaian, Abraham Taboo? How strong is the Ghanaian's chin, and how, to what extent will he be able to take the punches from the American? Well, it's round 6 in this WBO African Cruiserweight title fight between Abraham Taboo of Ghana in the yellow and black trunks with the hoops, and Patrick Ferguson of the USA in the black trunks. And so far, it's been Abraham Taboo of Ghana who clearly has dominated. and has scored the points to put him ahead. In my books, I don't know what the judges will score. But the American has shown he can take punishments. And on a few occasions when he's had openings, he has shown that he's an accurate puncher. But has just not thrown enough to put the Ghanaian Abraham Taboo in real danger of losing this fight. And so it's Taboo who seems quite knackered, throwing wildly left and then right against Ferguson. Ferguson with an overhand right and then a left jab against the Ghanaian, who keeps dropping his guard and in the process creates openings for Ferguson to take advantage of. And it's Ferguson now stalking the Ghanaian, being the aggressor, and he lands flash on the face of Abraham Taboo, who fights back, left, right. But they are not decisive punches, and they are not significant enough to put the American in any form of trouble. It's Ferguson with a good left that finds the jaw of the Ghanaian, who also throws a right to find the side of the face of Ferguson, and he throws another wild one, but it doesn't land on his target. It's a good left jab from Taboo. Ferguson throwing a combination. Taboo comes right back with another combination of his own. Now he stalks the American. Can he finish off this job in round 6? It doesn't look like it, because the American hasn't really been hit, despite the volume of punches that have been unloaded by Abraham Taboo.
It's been a give and take affair straight from round 1. Both boxers have stood the test of time, giving all that they have and taking in the punches that are coming their way. My only fear is that Ferguson is not doing a lot more to pick up the maximum points as he should. Taboo seems to be ahead at this stage of the fight, and it will do him a lot of good if he can take a lot in energy and relax, look for the opening and catch Ferguson on the break. So far it's been a cagey encounter, both boxers looking for the opening that will give them the advantage. It is not coming, at least not yet.
Round 6 comes to an end. Both fighters exerting a great deal of energy on this hazy Hamatan night here in Ghana, coming to you live. It's Fight Night on GH1 TV, live from the boxing arena here at Dogboe. And we are building up to the main event featuring this man, Isaac the Royal Storm Dogboe, doing the Agbaja with his big troop of supporters from the Apostles Revelation Society, the ARS Church, and people who have come all the way from Volta region to support this young lad who has had a scrumptious career, building up gradually towards the world title. Well, he's one step away from taking on the current champion, Jesse Magdaleno, but he first has to go past Cesar Juarez of Mexico. And this is the man who is going to be in the middle of the action today, the legendary referee, Tony Weeks, who was in action in October under very controversial circumstances in the middle of the Kovalev versus Ward fight, which he stopped. He came in for some criticism, but he's a legend of the game, comparable to the likes of Joe Cortez and Kenny Bayless. And he's been in some major battles. And we'll talk more about Tony Weeks as we build up towards our major main event tonight. At stake is the WBA Super Bantamweight interim title. And the two combatants are Ghana's Isaac Dogboe and Cesar Juarez of Mexico. But for now, we are into our 4th undercard. After this, there's one more before the main event. Was that a slip? Because there was a punch from Ferguson, and for a moment, Abraham Taboo seemed to be on his way to the canvas, but it looks like it was a slip.
I think it was a slip. The referee saw that coming. And they've been taking in a lot of water, and so they've been sweating a lot. And so the canvas gets a lot more slippery as the rounds go on. Good break for the two of them. If you look at the two and you take a look at their demeanor, you can see that Abraham is in trouble because he's gasping for breath. And Ferguson, cool as a cucumber. Let's see what he can do to finish this round.
Well, Taboo may have been saved by that slip ruling, but he did open himself up to that punch from Ferguson as he goes on the attack. Abraham Taboo in the yellow and black trunks with a hoop design against the man in black trunks, Pat Ferguson of the United States of America. This is Fight Night on GH1 TV. We are coming to you live from the Boxing Bukom Arena here in Accra, Ghana, and we are building up towards our main event, WBO Super Bantamweight Interim Title Championship fight between Isaac Dogboe of Ghana and Cesar Juarez of Mexico. But now it's another international contest, this time for the WBO African Cruiserweight title. Abraham Taboo of Ghana against Patrick Ferguson of the United States of America. We are into round 7 so far. Taboo comfortably ahead. He's thrown more punches, he's landed more punches. He's been the aggressor. Although the American has landed some very crisp punches. Oh, and that's a good left shot from Taboo. Ferguson tries to fight back, but it's a very frail attempt by him, and he's unable to land any of his attempted punches. Taboo with a good right, and then a left. Good right hook again from Taboo. But this American showing a good strong chin. And so far he's kept his composure despite the punishment he's taken from the Ghanaian. And yet again, a good uppercut, left uppercut from Taboo, and then a right, and then a left from Taboo. He's pounding the American. Is this the end? Left, and then a right overhand. But he seems to be knackered. A right, and then a left. He's put a series of combinations together. Another right overhand. And then a left. Pat Ferguson is a tough cookie. He's taking all the punishment and he's staying on his feet. And he fights back with a left and a right. Taboo has expended a lot of energy and he's saved by the bell, because for a moment, from being the main aggressor who was dominating, for a moment he almost got caught out in the final stages of round 7 by Pat Ferguson. But what an action-packed round. And Taboo really unloading and letting his hand go with a lot of punches.
Well, Sammy, I did tell you from the early rounds, all it will take for Ferguson to finish off this deal is just one big opening. And I told you, Taboo starts the rounds with a lot of energy. He's exerting too much energy, and that seems to be causing him the latter stages of the rounds. He opened up again, caught Patrick, and you realized that the fans were urging him on to open up. The moment he did that, he just couldn't follow it. Two punches to the head from Patrick Ferguson, and he nearly went down the canvas. That is what it will take Patrick Ferguson to win this bout. Either than that, it is going to be close to call, or Patrick may run away with a split decision.
Well, Taboo had a good round, throwing a lot of punches, landing quite a few. As we go into the championship round, remember, this is a 10-round WBO African Cruiserweight title fight between Patrick Ferguson of the United States of America and Abraham Taboo. It looks like Abraham Taboo has a challenge with his gloves, and they are trying to tighten it up a little with tape. And both fighters are ready. We are into the championship rounds, round 8. Round 9 to come, round 10. And they settle into a similar pattern. Taboo looking for that elusive knockout. He's had some significant punches. But Pat Ferguson in the last round almost had the last laugh, throwing crucial punches that wobbled the legs of Abraham Taboo. Abraham Taboo lounging and throwing punches. Overhand right, and it's Ferguson with a good left, and then a combination to the body of Abraham Taboo. Ferguson has taken a lot of punishment, and I'm amazed at his composure in this fight. For any other ordinary fighter, and he would have been taken out long ago. Taboo throwing a good left and then a right, throwing at angles, getting inside and shooting up some really good uppercuts as well. Ferguson with a left to the head of Taboo. fighting in close quarters. A good right to the jaw of Taboo. And he fights another right. Taboo is getting tired. He seems knackered. He's barely able to stand. He's in the lead according to my cards, but he's in real trouble at the moment. Patrick Ferguson with a right. Patrick Ferguson with another right to the body. Taboo swinging wildly. He's losing his legs. Patrick Ferguson to the body. Taboo Ferguson with a double right. Taboo clinching for dear life. Clinching to stay in as we enter the last few seconds of this round.
It's sad to see Taboo at the receiving end. He had done so well in the first opening rounds. He managed to hold his own in the middle rounds. And now not only is he gasping for breath, but he's looking for an escape route to avoid the punches, the flurry of punches coming his way from Patrick Ferguson. Again, Patrick Ferguson has shown that he's not afraid of the punches. He takes them and he keeps coming back for more. He's tiring out his opponent. Patrick only needs that killer punch, which is missing in his strategy.
Well, if you're just joining us, it's Fight Night here on GH1 TV. Exciting championship boxing for the Cruiserweight WBO African title. It's Ghana's Abraham Taboo against Pat Ferguson. Taboo started well, leads on point, according to my judgment, but Pat Ferguson is finishing the stronger fighter. Taboo with a good left, and then a right, and then he swings the left and misses. Ferguson head hunted, finding a head with good punches. It's a 3 combination punch. And Taboo will clinch. He's barely stayed on his feet. Ferguson with a right. As the bell goes for the end of the round. But a Ghanaian is running out of steam. And this was a close round. How would you score this round? Is it a Taboo round, a Patrick Ferguson round? Because Patrick Ferguson, on my cards, hasn't won any of the rounds up till now.
I think he's living up pretty much to the billing, and I think that he's doing quite well so far at this stage to ensure that this is the kind of action that we would want to see in this bout. Again, I am worried about Taboo. He's got the upper strength, no doubt. He's got the punches, no doubt about it. But his staying power seems to be letting him down. And you realize,
his body is glistening
they're
with
working
sweat
on the upper part to ensure that he's able to stand on his feet. It simply is not working for 3 rounds. It works for 1.5 rounds, and then he tires out.
Well, he has 2 more rounds to stay on his feet
Exactly.
and finish what he has started against this American opponent. The difficulty is that in the last 2 rounds, Patrick Ferguson, the American, has come in quite strongly and has landed some really crisp punches. And there it is. He finds
Patrick is yet to get that punch that would rock Taboo. Once that happens, I'm sure that the fight will get more exciting if Taboo can come back from that.
It's round 9 of the WBO African Cruiserweight title fight between Abraham Taboo of Ghana in the yellow and black trunk, and then Pat Ferguson of the United States fighting out of Florida in the black trunks. Taboo starting strongly again. He throws a good right, which finds its target. Ferguson clinching, effectively dissipating the momentum of Taboo. That has been the pattern of this fight. It's a good right, a big right indeed from Pat Ferguson. He's throwing, he's coming in strongly. Taboo pushes him back, but he's unable to follow up as the 2 tired boxers clinch each other in the middle of the ring. Taboo goes with the left. Ferguson counters. Ferguson with a combination. Taboo at the receiving end of that combination, he throws a right and lands. Everybody steps in to separate the 2 fighters. Taboo with a lunge to the body of Ferguson. The follow-up right couldn't quite connect to the head of Ferguson. And as we enter the final stages of this fight, the 2 boxers barely on their feet, but fighting with their hearts. and trading punches and giving it their all. Clinching at times, but kudos to them. They have both managed to stay on their feet. Taboo with a right overhand, which lands on top of the head of Ferguson. Ferguson tries to respond. He just does not have the firepower to trouble the Ghanaian, who looks quite knackered at this stage. Ferguson throwing a combination to the body, working on the midriff of the Ghanaian fighter. Again, the two boxers have to be separated as they clinch each other to try to stay on their feet. Taboo comes in, tries to throw a combination to the body. But this American young man, Pat Ferguson, has shown that he's not going down anytime soon. He stayed on his feet for 8 rounds. This is the 9th round of the WBO African Cruiserweight title fight. Two fighters who are giving their all today. But the difference has been that the Ghanaian has unloaded more volumes and has landed far more than the American Pat Ferguson has. He has shown that he's got a good boxing brain, Pat Ferguson of the United States. Just doesn't seem to have done enough to take this fight. He tries with some angles and some hooks. Again, the round comes to an end. It's the end of round 9. And for once, I have to say this looks clearly like a Ferguson round, doesn't it?
Ferguson has come in ever more stronger in this round. He's showed again that he can take the punches.
He thinks he's winning this fight.
He may be able to win if he does the right thing in the last couple of rounds. This is the 10th round. It could be a deciding factor in this round because again, Taboo has been worked on the upper body. He's tiring out with the rounds, and Isaac Dogboe can afford to do a little bit of dancing at this stage. But we will get to him in a little bit because we still have to see who the winner is in this bout.
Well, Isaac Dogboe is still preparing, psyching himself up and being psyched by a throng of supporters who have come today. And then there's Cesar Juarez, who is quietly going about his business, preparing for this fight. Quite experienced he is, 26 years of age. He's had 25 bouts, he's won 20, he's lost 5. But do not be in any way deceived by his record. He's a rugged fighter from Mexico. And you just have to see his last few fights, particularly the fight against Alberto Peguera and Nonito Done, which was one of the fights of 2017. So we are in for quite a treat here tonight at the Bukom Boxing Arena, and we are live on GH1 TV countrywide, and we are also live on the internet. You can watch the fight here live on GH1TV.com. We are streaming live on that. We are also streaming live on YouTube.com. Just look for GH1 TV. We are also streaming live on Facebook.com. Just look for GH1 TV. We are into the final rounds, round 10 of this 10-round African WBO Cruiserweight title fight between Ghana's Abraham Taboo in the yellow black trunks against the man in the black trunks from the United States of America, Patrick Ferguson. And so far, it's been Abraham Taboo's fight. Patrick Ferguson has done well to stay in the fight. But as far as I'm concerned, if he has to win this fight, he would need a knockout or a completely dominant round in order to win this. Rafibano steps in. He spotted an infringement. Taboo throwing wild punches. His energy levels are quite low at this stage and winning. A good uppercut from Ferguson. Abraham Taboo in the corner, in the blue corner. Ferguson, he pins him to the corner, but he just does not have enough energy and enough punches in him to put the Ghanaian in any form of trouble. Taboo counter punching with a right. Ferguson comes right back with a right, and then a left, and then a right, and then a left, and then a left again from Ferguson. The American is finishing very strongly, but he's lacking the killer punch to trouble the Ghanaian, who can barely stand on his feet right now. The crowd can sense that their local champion is winning. And they're trying to give him some encouragement here. Patrick Ferguson. But credit to Taboo, just when you think he's finished, he comes back and he tries to counterpunch his way back.
It's difficult. I mean, I really don't know what strategy Ferguson came into this bout. I don't know what strategy he came into this bout with, but he has not got that finishing power or that one instinctive blow to finish off the job. It is obvious that Taboo can barely stand on his feet. At the moment, he is only fighting to save face. It's the last round. He has done enough to probably win it by unanimous decision. But for my money, Patrick Ferguson has not disgraced at all.
Well, Patrick Ferguson had made quite an impression today at the Bukom Boxing Arena. He stayed on his feet. He's taking the punishment from the Ghanaian, and it's the end of the fight. Both boxers have their hands up and are claiming victory. In my mind, it is a unanimous decision to Abraham Taboo, but Patrick Ferguson from the US of A has by no means disgraced himself. He's given a good impression of himself over the 10 rounds. He's just lacked the killer punches, the big punches, to take out the Ghanaian, who faded very badly after the 6th round, but has just managed to hang on to finish this fight. But there are lessons to be learned. Abraham Taboo is number 3 ranked cruiserweight fighter in Ghana, and going forward, if his ambition is to go all the way to the world level, he needs to work on his stamina, doesn't he?
He's got a long way to go for sure. From what we have seen, the kind of display that he has exhibited, I think that if he wants to take the bull by the horns, he would have to do a lot more. But obviously, he has shown that he's a tough boxer, he's a tough contender, he's got the upper strength. It's just the staying power that has really let him down. But to all intents and purposes, his opponent, Patrick Ferguson, has also indicated that he is a boxer that can stay. He has taken all the punches that have come from his opponent. He is still standing tall in the ring. The two boxers congratulate each other. I'm only waiting for what kind of decision we are going to hear from the ring announcer.
Well, Patrick Ferguson has earned the respect of the Ghanaian crowd today as they are cheering him. Well, you can still see another shot of Isaac Dogboe as he prepares for the main event.
Are we ready?
For now, I hand you over to the ring announcer.
Are we ready for the main event? Shall we put our hands together for the two boxers? Great. Great. By the kind courtesy of Rising Star of Africa, Ghana Boxing Authority, World Boxing Organization, we are just about to come your way with the main event of the evening. The interim World Boxing Organization Super Bantamweight Championship over 12 rounds between Isaac Dogboe and Cesar Juarez. Are you ready for that? Very well. We are getting ready for that main event of the evening. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to go to the scorecards. Supervisor Samir Captain, supported by Mr. John Dugan, the Vice President of WBO. Once again, before I declare the results, we put our hands together for the boxers. Indeed, the results that we have here, it was indeed close to call. So it has been declared as a split draw. Congratulations, boxers. Split draw, so there's no winner. Well, thank you very much. We are getting ready for the main event of the evening. Isaac Dogboe and Cesar Juarez. Let me once again thank our sponsors, Kempeske Hotel, Koshiga Group, Workado Resort, Mercedes-Benz, Silver Star, Makojic Clothing. We want to thank them so much for the support, as well as Rising Star of Africa, the promoters. Thank you very much. Hello, Ghana. Are we ready? Are we ready? Very well. Before boxers mount the ring for the main event of the evening, now let me just inform you, we are fortunate to have in our midst the Minister for Youth and Sports, who is seriously relishing to get a world champion during his time, because in the past we had about 7 world champions. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we acknowledge the President of Mr. Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Isaac Isiama. Please put your hands together for him. Honorable, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you. Now, we have a special message, a goodwill message coming from the former President of the Republic of Ghana, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, to the boxers. Thank you very much. Now, let me also acknowledge the presence of the Israeli ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Sharon Bali. Well, thank you very much for coming, sir. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Mexican ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Maria de Los Angeles Ariola Aguirre. Thank you very much for coming, Excellency. Now, let me also acknowledge the presence of all members of the diplomatic corps who are here with us tonight. We cannot mention your name one after the other. So let me also acknowledge the presence of the Ghana Traditional Council and their entourage. Please, let's put our hands together for them. Thank you very much. Now, let me also acknowledge the presence of Dogboe III, the Awamifia of the Alon Traditional Council and his entourage. Please, let's put our hands together for them. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the Royal House of Dogboe Badu of Anyako and his entourage. Please, let's put our hands together for them. Thank you very much. And let me also acknowledge the presence of the Wevenu royal family of the ARS. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also tell you that we have in our midst 3 former world champions. We have Professor Zumzum Azuma Nelson. So do we also have the bazooka man, Ike Bazooka Korte. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the man who is known to be called the hitter, Joshua Clote. Thank you very much. Quickly, let me also acknowledge Alaji Inu Sasale, Kat Okroku of Dreams FC, Dr. Mustafa Ahmed, former Minister of Youth and Sports, Ata Edi Papo, Honorable Nilante Pandapor, and Mr. Isaac Tete of TT Brothers. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the officials for this bout. As we're waiting for the boxers We have Judge Juan Dion Daute from South Africa. Please, let's put our hands together for him. We also have from Spain, Fernando Laguna. Please, let's put our hands together. And we also have from Italy, Matteo Montella. Please, let's put our hands together. And the supervisor for the main event of the evening, the Vice President of WBO from the United States of America, Mr. John Dugan. So we are now waiting for the two boxes, Isaac Dogboe and Cesar Juarez. Ladies and gentlemen, we are highly honored. We are highly honored to have in our midst the man who is taking care of us in terms of policing in this country. Shall we please put our hands together and acknowledge the IGP of Ghana? Thank you very much. Mr. Beauty, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you and we thank you so much for coming. Now we are waiting for the boxes. Isaac Dogboe and Cesar Juarez. In the ring, we have the matchmaker. Michael is here. The Honorable Minister is here. The GBA President is here. Perhaps we should have a word from the GBA and the Minister as we wait for the boxes. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. It's a crucial fight for us. As I've said, 2018 is a year of destiny for Ghana boxing. We are hoping to increase the number of world titles we have. Isaac Dogboe is leading this charge. We have faith and confidence in his abilities, and we are hoping that he will rise to the challenge and win this fight and earn the right to fight Jesse Magdaleno for the world title sometime in June. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is the GBA President. Now we are going to the Honorable Minister, who is representing the President of the Republic. He would have a message for the boxer.
Great feeling. We are all proud to be here. Boxing is one of the best sporting displays we have in this country. And I'm happy and I'm proud to see all of you wonderful people here. Tonight is going to be great. Ghana has to produce a world champion tonight. And Isaac has got the secrets. So we are all proud to be here. The president wishes you well. All of us wish you well for him to succeed. Ghana indeed is a great sporting country. We are all proud to be here. We welcome all our visitors to this very important occasion. All of you are going to have fun because Isaac is disciplined, he's focused, and he's got what it takes to be a world champion. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Now, hello Ghana. Now we want to hear from the Vice President of WBO. Mr. John Dugan has been in Ghana for almost about 48 hours. He will have a word for Ghanaians ahead of the main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, John Dugan.
Akwaba and Idazane to all our friends in Ghana. Congratulations on this wonderful event. Congratulations to the Ghana Boxing Authority for the wonderful job they did administering this, and to our promoter, Rising Star, for the wonderful job they did. We have two of the best junior featherweights in the world. It's been a great night of boxing so far, and the best is yet to come. Good luck to both the contestants, and congratulations to Ghana Boxing.
Thank you. And finally, the man who made tonight possible, the matchmaker. He has really fought very, very hard. Michael Atamura is here, is the matchmaker. Michael, just come and say a word. He's the matchmaker. Please put your hands together for Michael. What is the message?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a war? All glory to God, and let's go, Isaac Dogboe.
Thank you very much, Mike. Now, as we wait for the boxers, let me once again acknowledge Ghana Boxing Authority, World Boxing Organization. Okay, very well. Let me thank our sponsors, Kempinski Hotel, Pashagan Group, Wilcado Resort, Mercedes-Benz Silver Star, and Mekoji Clothing. Now, let's invite the boxer from Ghana, Isaac Dogboe.
It's a
WBO Super Bantamweight interim title at stake. The winner gets to meet the real champion, Jesse Magdaleno of the United States of America. The first to arrive will be Ghana's Dogboe, and he will be coming to traditional drumming and dancing, the music from the ARS Church, and the many Voltarians who have gathered here today. And before I go to Prince, I'm here with Frederick Lawson, a man who knows all about marching to the ring to fight when you are just one step away from a major title fight. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, Lawson, how must Dogboe be feeling now as he marches into the ring for this world title fight?
He just has been inspired, you know, he has been inspired and encouraged from everyone because the fight is in his house, and he's at a house, he can't afford to lose this fight. I know he can do it, but we're all going to pray for him with hope and strength and guidance to just come us as for this fight because, you know, sometimes such fights are not easy. I hope this is his first time getting up here. So all I'm going to say is that he will keep his focus and determine that he can make it. Because I believe in him. He can do it.
You fought Kevin Busy a few years ago, and in that fight, you were just one step away from facing Kell Brook for his welterweight title. Normally, how do you psych yourself up for this big fight?
All right, psyching yourself up is like you just believe in your training, believe in yourself, and know you can do it. Just carry the flag of nation on your back and say to yourself, hey, I gotta do it. It is what it is because this is what I've been waiting for years. So today that is the opportunity. Let me make it. Let me take advantage. So just gotta take advantage. And that's why the fight is back home here for Dogboe, and Dogboe is at home. So he has to take advantage of everything that's around here for him. You know, we're taking the night, man. We're just ready. We can't wait for the title here. We can't wait.
Well, that's the voice of Frederick Okunka Lawson, who is a contender in the welterweight division. He's currently the holder of the international silver title. Let me go back to Prince. That was the round, resounding anthem of the ARS, the Apostles Revolution Society, who have backed Dogboe every step of the way. And in each of his fights here in Ghana, they have turned out in their numbers to sing for him and to support him. How crucial is this support?
Too crucial, Sammy, if you ask me. Too crucial. He thrives a lot of energy and zeal from this group, ARS, and he's almost always not forgotten to say thank you to them for all the wonderful and tremendous support that they've given. Indeed, Ghanaians are solidly behind him. He comes in with a lot of class. He comes in with a lot of passion, and you can see it sternly written on his face that once he enters the ring, it's business time.
Well, with the signature Agbaja drumming and dancing from his hordes of supporters, and wearing his usual bead with the Ghana flag, the British flag. Of course, at some point in his amateur career, he had his training in Great Britain, and then the ARS flag, all within his bandana. Here is Isaac Dogboe, hopefully going to make Ghana proud by winning the interim title and take a giant step towards facing Jesse Magdaleno of the United States of America for the WBO Super Bantamweight title of the world. This is a crucial step for him, and his advantage is that this fight is taking place on home ground here at the boxing arena at
Cesar, Juarez.
Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales, two of the very, very key champions in this division, in the super bantamweight division. And so they have a history within this division. And the latest incarnation of this is Juarez, Cesar, 20 fights, 5 defeats, 15 of those wins. He's fought 25 times, he's won 20 times, 15 out of those coming by way of technical knockout. He's a rugged fighter from Mexico. And in his last few fights, he has reeled off 3 consecutive wins since back-to-back losses. One of them against Nonito Donet. And his last fights have included an 8-round knockout of undefeated Albert Pegada from Philippines. And he was in an absolute war with Nonito Donet. So this is no easy customer. He's rugged, sometimes a bit flat-footed, slow and predictable. But he can get into a slugfest, and he's a fighter to watch.
Are we ready? Akago! Akago! Inde Akago! Slowly. Nema Mane. Ike Sayo! Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is here with us. And this is the time Mexico and Ghana is waiting for. The main event of the evening. A 12-rounder interim World Boxing Organization Super Bantamweight Championship. Officials for this bout. Judge 1, Dion Diate from South Africa. Judge 2, Fernando Laguna from Spain. And Judge 3, Matteo Montella from Italy. And the supervisor for this bout is John Dugan, the Vice President of WBO. Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the boxer fighting out from the red corner. And this is a boxer with official record of 25 fights, 5 defeats, 20 wins, and 15 of those wins came by way of knockout. From Mexico City in Mexico. And so far, 148 rounds of boxing, and it was the former 3 times Mexican national Olympic champion, former Mexico super flyweight champion, current WBO international super bantamweight champion, current WBO intercontinental super bantamweight champion, presenting to you the boxer from Mexico, also known to be called Coranzo, Cesar Juarez. His opponents fighting out from the blue corner, from Accra, Ghana, with the official record of 17 fights, no defeats, no draw, 17 wins, and 11 of those wins came by way of knockouts. So far, he has fought 93 rounds of boxing, and this is the man who represented Ghana in Summer Olympics in 2012 at the age of 17. Former West African Union featherweight champion, WBO African featherweight champion, WBC Youth Silver featherweight champion, WBO Oriental featherweight champion. Now the boxer presenting to you the boxer who is also known to be called the Royal Storm, Isaac Dogboe. And the referee for this bout is Tornavix.
As we prepare to fight, we'll have the tail of the tape on your screen in just a moment, just to weigh the strengths and weaknesses of the two fights. Juarez, obviously the more experienced fighter after 25 fights. He had a series of fights. His last fight was supposed to be against the champion, the title holder himself, Jesse Magdaleno. That fight didn't come on, but this is the tail of the tape. Isaac Dogboe at 23, 3 years old, younger than Cesar Juarez. Juarez will also have the height advantage by an inch. They weigh at the same weights, and in terms of reach, Juarez will also have the advantage. Dogboe is campaigning at this rate, if he wins this and faces Jesse Magdaleno, to become perhaps Ghana's youngest ever world champion. But I'm looking at the ages. Nane Abuledu became a world champion at 25, Azuma at 26, Aikote at 25, Akbeko at 27, Afrekote at 26. At 23, if he manages to get this and then also win, he'll be the youngest ever.
Well, he definitely will be the youngest ever boxer. He's able to win this WBO interim title as we pause to pay homage to the two national anthems, first of Mexico and then of Ghana.
And then now...
National anthem of Ghana.
Ladies and gentlemen, and cherished viewers, if you are joining us, this is Fight Night on GH1 TV. We are coming to you across the country live on GH1 TV. We are also streaming live on gh1.com, streaming live on that website. We are streaming live on YouTube. Just look for GH1 TV. We are streaming live on Facebook. This is for the WBO Super Bantamweight interim title. And then for the right to face the actual champion, Jesse Magdaleno of the United States of America. And this is Cesar Juarez of Mexico. 25 fights, 20 victories, 5 defeats, 20 of those, 15 out of the 20 victories coming by way of technical knockouts. And Isaac Dogboe of Ghana, 17 fights, no losses, no draws. 11 of those victories coming by way of technical knockout. And it's a blistering start. And the crowd here at the Brooklyn Boxing Arena are in full voice as Dogboe attacks from the onset. He's exerting a lot of energy with a left and then a right. Both fighters throwing combinations. Juarez at the receiving end of left hooks coming from Dogboe to the body and then to the jaw. So it's a lightning quick start by Dogboe as he goes in to work on the body of the Mexican. Left-right combinations, but the Mexican boxer is very well wrapped at this moment, and none of Dogboe's shots have actually found his head. It's a very quick start, Prince, isn't it?
Positively, it is a good start for Dogboe. Technically, I think he opened up a bit too early. He is fighting against a tough, rugged Mexican. And you read his resume. You know where he's been before. These are not the things that will scare Le Corazon, as he is called. These are not the steps that a boxer should take against a potential world champion. But obviously, Isaac Dogboe knows what he is about. He's listening to his corners. Maybe an open, explosive first round would settle his nerves to do the job in the latter round.
That's exactly what he's doing. Throwing in hooks, working the body of Juarez. And Juarez is also counter-punching with some big shots to the body of Isaac Dogboe. That's a lovely left hook by Dogboe. It caught Juarez flash on the left side of his jaw. And he follows that up with stinging punches to the body and to the head as he tries with combinations to take out the Mexican in these early stages. Dogboe in the all-white trunk against the Mexican Cesar Juarez in the Mexican colors, red, white, and green. Corazon, he calls himself, hat. Against Ghana's Royal Storm for the WBO Super Bantamweight interim title. Dogboe has made a lightning start, and both fighters are making their hands go as they exchange punches. Dogboe slightly ahead. He's landed more punches. Juarez seems a bit jolted by the lightning quick start made by the Ghanaian. And at the end of an entertaining and action-packed round one, I still have with me here Frederick Lawson, who at one point was one step away from winning the world title at world welterweight level. What do you make of the start by Dogboe? He started very quickly with a lot of energy.
Well, Dogboe started very good. I like the start he started. But I hope he continues the next round to next level, because you know these Mexicans are kind of they got this power pack in their body. They can breathe. They got this altitude training, so they're okay with the weather. But you know what? Dogboe has a good beginning, and I hope he take it to the end. And I know Dogboe can do that. So let's hope for the better.
Well, Frederick Lawson saying let's hope for the better. I can tell you though that in the last few fights that Juarez has been involved in, he started very slowly and eventually he builds momentum and brings the fight to the opponent. He likes to stalk the opponent in the ring. Against Nonito Donaire, the fight really exploded into action in the latter stages. Against Alberto Pelgara, the fight really exploded in the latter stages. So it's still early days yet. And typical of the fighting style of Juarez, he stops and he keeps coming. A bit flat-footed, a bit slow, a bit predictable, but he's not the sort of fighter who steps backwards. He just keeps coming and he keeps coming.
From the fights that he's fought and the kind of fight record he has, he knows what he's about in the ring. I was just explaining to a few of the guys back here that to fight against a Mexican and to open up that early, it means you have a strategy to finish the fight off early, because he has got the staying power. He is coming from a rich family of Mexican boxers. You understand? Julio Cesar Chavez has been there before. Saul Canelo Alvarez has been there before. Marco Antonio Barrera has been there before. These are quality fighters from Mexico. So obviously, the plan is to open up quick, which he has done. Let's see how the Mexican will flow in his steps so that Dogboe can take the opportunity. I'm looking for
he's down.
There you go.
Juarez is down. Juarez is down. And he's back on his feet. Juarez went in with a combination shot against Dogboe with a left and then a right. And then he got hot flash with a counter punch by Dogboe. And Dogboe goes in for the kill. The Ghanaian can smell blood. And he wants to finish this. But Juarez is a tough cookie. Against Nonito Donaire, he was dropped to the canvas 2 times and he came back to take the fight to the distance. So this fight is by no means finished. Dogboe goes in for the kill and he takes, is becoming a slap fest in the corner. Dogboe to the body, to the head with a left and then a right and then a left hook. Left, stick jab and then a right hook. Juarez still on his feet. Dogboe to the body and then a hook. Combinations coming from Dogboe. That left and then a right. Juarez trying to fight back. Dogboe with a right and then a left and then another left and then another right. Juarez barely standing on his feet. Dogboe sensing blood. The Mexican is trying to fight back. Dogboe goes in for the kill with another left and then another right. He can sense blood and he's trying to finish it. Juarez remains on his feet. He's got quite a chin. Not very good defenses, but he's got a strong chin. And he stayed on his feet for the rest of the round as we enter the final 10 seconds of the round. A good left finds the face of Dogboe. Dogboe comes in with a left. What a round! And the Bukom Boxing Arena is bouncing. I can feel the ground shaking beneath my feet. The fans are enjoying this. And Isaac Dogboe is delivering a momentous fighting experience to those who have gathered here tonight. Now let's go back again and see that knockdown. Juarez came in, and then Dogboe with a left counter punch sent him sprawling to the ground. And here's the punch that found him straight to the jaw. It was a left hook.
Pepper left hook. That's a pepper left hook at the right time and the right place. No, it's a good hook from Dogboe. Pepper left hook at the right time and the right place.
Dogboe swiftly turning defense into attack. He was the one under attack. Cesar Juarez with a left and a right combination. Dogboe spotting the gap with a left hook. He finds the jaw and his man is on his mouth.
And that's the flaw I was looking for. As soon as he opened up big in the first round, I knew that he was going to make the Mexican commit mistakes. The mistakes have started coming. He's been able to spot one opening and the left hook did the trick. Let's see what the other rounds have to offer. But let's not be carried away. The Mexican is a true fighter. He is collecting the punches as they come and he's returning them if he can.
Dogboe is going for broke at this moment. Starting round 3 just as he started the 2 previous rounds. But mind you, he's exerting a lot of energy. Against Pablo Chacon last year, it took on a similar style, but as the middle rounds came, Chacon grew stronger until he quit. But here's Dogboe again, pounding with a left and a right and a left and a right combination. Dogboe with the hooks and the uppercuts, swinging furiously like a man possessed. He looks like he wants to finish this fight. He doesn't want this fight to travel the distance. But I can tell you that Cesar Juarez has got a tough chin and loves to stay on his feet, take the punishment, and grow stronger in the fight. Dogboe, he seems to have expended some energy. He's bouncing and pivoting himself on his heels as Juarez comes. Juarez's style is to keep stalking his opponent and keep coming. He doesn't know how to retreat when he's fighting. As he comes with some body shots to the left midriff of Dogboe. Dogboe returning fire with fire. Juarez comes. He tries an overhand. It doesn't land. He tries some body punches. And Dogboe returns it in kind. And then goes for the head of Juarez. Dogboe finding the head with his hooks. A big right. And a big left from Juarez. Dogboe with a big left. He couldn't follow it up. Juarez punching away to the body. He's working downtown. Throwing punches, wild punches I have to say. Dogboe with a right overhand. And Juarez with a double combination against Dogboe. This is being fought at an amazing pace. As we enter the final 40 seconds, Dogboe seems a bit knackered, but he throws a good left, which lands. Dogboe with another left and a right. A big right, I have to say. Juarez, he seems a bit disorientated at the moment as Dogboe goes in with a right. Dogboe using the angles and throwing the hooks. At the moment, Juarez is swinging quite wildly. And you can see from the background, this fight is completely absorbing all the VIPs with their eyes on the action. As round 3 comes to an end. I still have with me here Lawson Frederick, former welterweight #1 contender. And what do you make of that round? This one was a bit more even than the previous round.
Exactly, but I think what my career says, I think Dogboe should take his time. You know, Juarez is weak at the downtown. You just go downtown and step inside and fight to him. Carry the fight. Dogboe carry the fight to him rather. He's going to give a early knockout for this round, the next round coming up. Dogboe should fight to him. He's going to tie him down.
It's pound for pound boxing at its finest, Prince. Juarez swinging very, very wildly, but Dogboe seems to be finding his range and seems to be finding his target with the hooks that he's unloading and the big right.
It seems to be working for Dogboe at this stage. I don't know about pound for pound in the world, but at least they're trading the punches, and it looks like it's a give and take affair for now. But the Mexican has shown that he's tough. He's strong in the midsection. He comes out fighting strong, and he takes everything that you give to him.
Well, here we go with round 4 of this WBO Super Bantamweight interim title fight between Isaac Dogboe of Ghana and Cesar Juarez of Mexico. Outscored the last 3 rounds in favor of the Ghanaian, but it's been a battle of attrition. No punches pulled. They are letting their hands go. And this is what the fans love. Dogboe being stopped again by Juarez. The Mexican will keep coming. And Dogboe working downtown, throwing punches to the body, working downtown, and then switching very quickly to some headshots with his left jab. Here he goes, left jab, and a big right from Isaac Dogboe of Ghana. Juarez still coming. He tries the body shots. He has Dogboe in the corner, but Dogboe quickly spins himself out of trouble and comes into the middle of the ring. Referee Weeks spots a foreign material on the canvas, and he quickly throws it out. Dogboe. And the more Juarez swings, the more he leaves himself open, and he makes mistakes.
Exactly, he always makes mistakes and leaving the downtown open. And that's the opportunity for Dogboe to just step in for that. And I think gradually, Dogboe is going to wear him down.
Well, Dogboe, the idea being to wear him down by working him downstairs with the body shots. And the Mexican seems a bit discombobulated at the moment. The fight has been at a frenetic pace. Good shots, big left and right by Dogboe. That combination rocks the Mexican, but he will come forward. Juarez, slow, predictable, but a warrior at heart. He doesn't know when to say enough is enough, and he keeps coming. And Dogboe exploiting his mistakes, because as he lets his hand go, he exposes himself. And Dogboe taking shots left, right, and another left to the head, another left-right combination to the head. Juarez with combinations of his own to Dogboe's head. This is a tough fight for the Ghanaian. Dogboe again, another big right, and then a jab, and then an uppercut. Juarez trying to fight back, but he's only opening himself to big punches from Dogboe. Here we go. Dogboe trying to finish the round with a plumb. He's in the corner. Juarez trying to pin him with a couple of shots and a couple of combinations. But Dogboe gets himself out of trouble. Juarez, you can see the Mexico tiring already. He's got specks of blood on his face, and you can tell that he's picked up a cut. I'm not sure which part of his face yet that cut is. Oh, that's an excellent uppercut to end round 4. Another Dogboe round for me. And Dogboe, as it stands now, is on his way to winning this interim title.
I do hope that he's sincerely on his way to win the title, because over the first 4 rounds, it's been a tough encounter. The Mexican has shown that he will stand on his feet, come what may. That first knockdown by Dogboe, a lucky punch for him with a left hook, sent his opponent Juarez to the canvas. But after that, you have noticed that he's kept his cool. He's sucking in the pressure from Dogboe. Dogboe seems to be tiring out a little bit at this stage. I would wish that a lot more concentration work on the body would suffice.
Frederick Law said, we've seen the round 4, now we are moving to the round 5. Is Dogboe doing what you expect him to do?
He's doing what I expect him to do, but I want him to do more, because he can't wait for the whole night for him to start the fight to him. I want Dogboe to fight in now. Dogboe is doing a good fighting, but I want him to attack a little bit. He's always defending. You know, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad though. It's good, but I want him just switch it a little bit to try, because Dogboe can do something better when he attacks and go downtown.
And we go to round 5 of this WBO Super Bantamweight interim title fight between Ghana's Isaac Dogboe and Cesar Corazon Juarez of Mexico. It's been a festive dishing out of punches between the two fighters. Dogboe making use of his opportunities. Juarez fighting back in round 5. Volumes of punches being thrown here. Dogboe with a straight right, straight into the face of Juarez. Juarez trying to protect himself, and then he leaves himself open for another right hook, and then a stiff left straight into his face. Dogboe finding joy whenever he swings, because the Mexican is making too many mistakes as he swings and tries to attack. His defenses are suspect, Cesar Juarez. And Dogboe almost slips there, but he manages to find his feet. Cesar Juarez receives a stinging right from Dogboe, and he's bleeding from the nose already in this 5th round of a scheduled 12-round encounter for the WBO Super Bantamweight interim title. Dogboe and Juarez stalking Dogboe, trying to pin him to the corner. The Ghanaian doing excellent work counter boxing and turning his disadvantage in the corner into an advantage. That's a lovely right, straight, landing on the side of the face of Juarez. Juarez again tries to find a combination against the Ghanaian, and the Ghanaian quickly moves out of trouble and clinches Juarez to break up the Mexican's momentum. And the Mexican is cautioned. Oh, that's an excellent left hook, and Juarez is down. Juarez is down. Excellent left hook. Tony Wick has stopped the fight. It's over here at the Booker Boxing Arena. It's over. It's over. Juarez cannot continue. It's over. It's over. It's over. What a night for Ghana Boxing, and what a night for Isaac Dogboe, the Royal Storm. That left hook came out of nowhere. Cesar Juarez never saw that coming. It dropped him. He's not able to continue. His eyes are glazed. His nostrils are oozing blood. The Royal Storm, Isaac Dogboe, has done it again in front of his partisan home crowd. He has beaten Cesar Juarez and is a new WBO Super Bantamweight interim world champion. Now let's just see how it went down, and let's just rewind it. Juarez attacking again, pushing Dogboe to the corner. Dogboe very smartly clinches, and he manages to weather the storm. The referee warns the Mexican, and then they are left to engage again. The Mexican, as usual, comes forward, and Dogboe with that left hook, which stunned him. Amazing punching power,
man. Because you know what? Dogboe just set him up. He set him up with a jab and the weak punches, following him in. He was just walking in, so automatically he stepped into the right punch, and that was it. That punch was a grand punch at the same time and a good target.
What a night of boxing for Ghana.
Impressive.
6th round.
Impressive.
Technical knockout.
Impressive. You did say it. We're going to have our youngest world champion yet. He has proved the skeptics wrong by going out explosively in the 1st round. He has capped it all with a knockout of the fight. The evening has been good for Ghana boxing. The evening has been good for WBO boxing. The evening has been good for Isaac the Royal Storm Dogboe. He did indicate that he will have the world title round his waist. He definitely has done that. He pays homage to the ARS, and there you have a proud world WBO interim Super Bantamweight champion.
Well, Isaac Dogboe is on his way to big things. But generally, how do you rate this performance? I mean, you've seen some of your colleagues fight. You have even sparred Frederick Lawson with Manny Pacquiao before. How will you rate this performance from Isaac Dogboe?
It's good. It's good. It's just perfect. This is a nice performance I've never seen in a long time in Ghana history. must have seen one of Ghana boxing history today. You got me right? Because, you know, it's a long time I saw this type of performance in Ghana history of boxing. And it's a very good performance. I'm glad I saw this tonight.
You think referee Tony Weeks stopped the fight at the right time? Because Juarez seemed like he wanted to fight, but the eyes were glazed and it didn't look like he could continue.
Not at all. His eyes was up. He is not ready for it at all. He wasn't ready for it at all. He wasn't ready for that punch at all. But you know, the point was the right time and the right place. So
now, ladies and gentlemen,
we walked through the slow motion again, and that was the punch that sent him down. He went down completely. He was completely caught off guard, and that was the mistake Isaac Dogboe was looking for. He stood on his feet, and then he staggered. 2 minutes. He said he could fight. But let me ask you this. How easy or difficult is it for lawyers to cry?
Why do you say that?
Because Juarez is a lawyer.
Oh, yes.
He is a lawyer and he has a master's in criminal psychology.
I see.
He is fighting against an opponent who is also a degree holder. So you can see that they had similarities both on and off the boxing ring. There we have our world WBO interim super bantamweight champion of the world, Isaac the Royal Storm Dogboe.
Well, there you have it. And we are going to go over to the ring announcer, Amin Lamte, to speak to the new WBO Super Bantamweight interim world champion.
God is great. God is great. God is great.
So now, Isaac, now how do you feel?
You know, I am very, very thankful. I am very, very thankful to the Almighty God, you know, for giving me this victory. You know, like I said before, all my battles belong to the Lord. It's God that fights my battles for me. It's not by my own strength, but by the power of the Almighty God. I feel great, you know, but as you all know, we still got bills to pay.
Very well. Now, it seems like you want to stop him from the word go in round one. Why did you want to stop him instead of going through the rounds?
You know, like I said in my interviews, right? I said sometimes the only way to defend is to attack. The only way to suppress your enemy is to go at him and let him feel that you are stronger than he is, and eventually he's gonna break down. But I want to say a big thank you to everyone that came out. You know, we did it for the nation. It's one people. Hello. I have great Ambassador, His Excellency Ian Walker. He's here, and Israeli's ambassador. I want to say a big thank you to the President of Ghana, President Nana Akufo-Addo. You know, all the ex-presidents. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that came out here. You know, my uncle, the former, and Azuma Nelson. You know, Alaji Inusa. You know, all of our sponsors, Kempinski Hotel, you know, Mercedes, Silver Star Auto, Mercedes, Resort, and all of our other sponsors, Koshiga Group, engineers and planners, everyone that supports the Team Dogboe. I want to say a big thank you to you. And the Honorable Mustafa Ahmed, you know, this man here, look, I don't know how to describe him. You know, we are back to he's the one that created Ghana boxing is back to the old glory days. So, Alaji, thank you so much. Alaji Inusa, thank you so much. Azuma Nelson, thank you so much. Akote, thank you so much. Dr. Lawrence Tete, thank you so much. You know, not forgetting my own uncle, Prophet over in the Royal House, the entire Royal Badu family house. They came here and led me into the ring. Look, I want to say a big thank you to all of you, the President of Ghana, my one Kim, my father, Paul Kofi Dogboe. You know, he's a man behind all this. It is not by my strength, by a collective effort of all of my team.
Isaac, now, Jesse is built to fight on March 10th. Now you are the winner. You are to meet.
Jesse Magdaleno, I'm coming for you, baby. I am coming for you, baby, Jesse Magdaleno. Look, I know you're gonna run, but guess what? The lion is here. The lion is around. The warrior of Africa, the powerful pound king, the first pay-per-view star ever to come off Africa. Thank you, Ghana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, that's Isaac Dogboe. Ladies and gentlemen,
The red hot Isaac Dogboe. And we can watch this all night long. That left hook, we can watch it all night long. It was perfection.
It was a strategy that worked to perfection. Kudos to his team, ably led by his dad and coach Paul Dogboe. He has worked extremely hard on his son to ensure that he has seen this day. And also to the Rising Star Promotions. Because, I mean, they had to fish out $117, almost $120,000 to bring this world title fight home to Ghana. They did it within 72 hours and it has yielded dividends.
Hey, look, I don't know about the marriage between prize fighting and religion, but I can see several prominent men of God, and indeed the whole ARS church supporting their fighter tonight. And what a way to open 2018. Well, what this means is that Dogboe's next opponent will be Jesse Magdaleno of the United States of America, who holds the actual WBO Super Bantamweight title, and that fight has to be fixed within the next 180 days, assuming Magdaleno is interested in fighting. Because if he drops the title, then Dogboe will have to fight somebody else for it. But if he wants to hang on to the title, because he was supposed to have fought against Juarez for this title in October, then he needs to fight Dogboe.
That's very true, and I don't think he will chicken out fighting Isaac Dogboe, because the whole world wants to see who's the best pound for pound in the super bantamweight category. Obviously, Isaac Dogboe has announced to the world that he has arrived and he has come to stay. Jesse Magdaleno need not run away from this. He has to pick up the big shots. He will be calling the shots. He has to pick up the opportunity and fight against the Royal Storm. There is nothing that should stop Jesse Magdaleno now from fighting in the ring, and this time around fighting against the Lion from Africa, Ghana.
Well, this is a shot in the arm for Ghana boxing, and so Dogboe has done it. Now he has the opportunity to fight for the main world title, the WBO title. But what does this mean for Ghana boxing? I'm checking the lineup, and there's you with the silver title. There's Duke Micah, who's got another title, but it's not a recognized world title. There's Rafael Mensah at super featherweight, who is likely to fight before March. Habib Ahmed will fight for the super middleweight belt against Gilberto Ramirez, super welterweight, in February. And Richie Comey is still in the mix. How does 2018 look like for Ghana boxing, Frederick Lawson?
It looks very bright because, 2018 is going to be something great in Ghana boxing history, because we're all going out there to bring what we have in there out, and we're almost there to the point to show, exhibit what we have inside, what we learned over the years, and we're ready to bring it out to the world. So let's just have the support and moral go from Ghana to bring it out to the world to see that we have these champions now. We're ready.
How do you guys usually see each other? Do you see each other as rivals? Because Ghana is looking for a world champion. Everybody wants to be that guy who delivers the world title to Ghana. Or do you see, as Dogboe has done now, the other person as a source of inspiration to the rest of you?
Not at all. What he's done tonight has inspired me myself, has inspired Richie, has inspired everyone, all of us in the competition there. We all know in the same categories, but all fighting for a good thing to bring to one nation, So we're just ready to end. We're glad he started in a good year for us, and we're going to continue what he started and bring it down to December.
Well, and so Prince, at the end of the main event, after 2 minutes, 2 seconds into round 5 of the scheduled 12th round title fight for the WBO Super Bantamweight interim title, it's Isaac Dogboe of Ghana who has won via technical knockouts, to take the interim title and set up that mandatory challenge against Jesse Magdaleno. Final words.
Well, congratulations to the Royal Storm. He promised Ghanaians a world title. He has the interim WBO Super Bantamweight title. The big one is just around the corner. All Magdaleno has to do is to say, yes, I am ready, and that big fight will be on. But he's proved to the whole world that indeed he has come to stay. I have been particularly gracious and respectful of Team Dogboe. They have worked so very hard to ensure that this has come to see the light of the day. I had a one-hour interview with Isaac Dogboe after he fought his last fight, and he told me, Prince, the next time you see me, the announcement will be, and the new. He has put that title around his belt and that belt around his waist. He's looking for the bigger one. Congratulations to Team Dogboe. Congratulations to Isaac and his father Paul. They have indeed not only made themselves proud, but they have made Ghana proud.
Well, this will be the enduring image for weeks to come. Isaac Dogboe's fatal left hook, the dangerous left hook that leveled Cesar Juarez and won for him the interim title. So congratulations to Team Dogboe. And we have one more fight for you. It's one of the undercards which was postponed after the fight. It's Prince Okonate taking on Odate Lamte in the middleweight contest. But for me, well, it's goodbye for now. I've benefited from the knowledge and experience of Frederick Okuka-Lelson. Frederick, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
Who is campaigning, and all the best. We hope that you get close to winning the world title at welterweight level.
Soon, sir.
So keep watching GH1. We've brought you this landmark, groundbreaking coverage from the Buko Boxing Arena. We'll continue to bring you the very best from the world of sports. Keep watching. We have one more fight to come with Prince Okonate against Odate Lamte. And keep watching. But just to wrap things up, we started the night with a few undercards as we built up towards this main event. Michael Dodu faced Daniel Ankonu in the lightweight category. He won by technical knockouts in the third round. And then in the second fight,
the legendary, the most experienced referee, Tornowix. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the very last fight of the evening. We have a middleweight contest between Prince Okonate and Odate Lamte. Officials for this bout, we have Judge 1, Erasmus O, Judge 2, Clement Ashon, and Judge 3, J.B. Owusu-Ansah. And the referee for this bout is Michael Nikwe. Now, can I have Habib Ahmed? Habib Ahmed is penciled to fight a world title, I think next month or so. So if Habib Ahmed is here, can we have Habib Ahmed in the ring? Habib Ahmed. Habib Ahmed of Ghana is taking on Gilberto Ramirez in the United States of America. And so we want to pray that Habib Ahmed would also go and do Ghana proud. Rafael Mensah is also fighting, according to Mr. Yofi Boham. So Rafael Mensah is also fighting. So ladies and gentlemen, let's keep our fingers crossed as we delve into the last bout of the evening. Prince Okonate Odate Lamte. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's Habib Ahmed. Is also going to fight for the world title against Ramirez. Habib, now when are you leaving Ghana?
Ghana, are you ready for a world title? Ghana, are you ready for a world title? Then don't let to be told. On 3rd February, I'm going to storm USA. I'm going to take Gilberto's Ramirez. He started from Amlola, Ghana. So
Iomo.
Came too late to save these villages.
Today, President Clinton voiced concerns at the deteriorating situation in Sarajevo.
When people ask me, good listeners, why do I hate all the Tutsi? I say, read our history. The Tutsi were collaborators for the Belgian colonists. They stole our Hutu land. They whipped us. Now they have come back, these Tutsi rebels. They are cockroaches. They are murderers. Rwanda is our Hutu land. We are the majority. They are a minority of traitors and invaders. We will squash their infestation. We will wipe out the RPF rebels. This is RTLM Hutu Power Radio. Stay alert. Watch your neighbors.
Rusa Sabakina. Thank you. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Wonderful. Next time you are there, tell Fidel that I said hello. Good to see you, gentlemen.
Oh, that is a fine cigar, sir.
This is a Cohiba cigar. Each one is worth 10,000 francs.
10,000 francs?
Yes, but it is worth